Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni, the great Malabite. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning, Mr. Efeni.
Yes, we'll start with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. And we'll start where you just left off with the last pair of guests on this show, Edo State. And that is the lead story of this day. End of confrontation in Edo State as 38-year-old new deputy governor is sworn in. Obaseki, new partner symbolizes belief in power of youth. My impeachment illegal, attack on democracy, says ex-deputy. CRPP condemns development. Yes, yesterday, of course, Philip Schweibo was removed, impeached by the Edo State House of Assembly. He's no longer governor. And of course, there's no time for vacuum. Immediately, 38-year-old Omobayo Godwins was sworn in as the new deputy governor. He was on Arise News 9 yesterday. His first ever interview he granted yesterday was on Arise News 9. And of course, he was a man still in shocked by his emergence. He never looked forward to such a thing. It happened. He's happy. His people in Akoko Edo, they are very happy because that is the first time anybody from that part of Edo State will emerge at the governorship level, governor or deputy. The best they got was chief of staff some years ago. Now, the story of Obaseki and Philip Schweibo, Governor Obaseki and Philip Schweibo, I'm sure will be a case study for even students of political science. They came a long way. Philip Schweibo had a lot of responsibilities. Certainly was not one of those deputy governors you regard as just spare tire. He had clear responsibilities and he took charge. He had experience he brought to the table, but perhaps that's where the whole issue got mixed up, perhaps in somebody's mind. But Obaseki was ready to go to war for Philip Schweibo. And he took on Nyesom Wike, who was the leading light in the PDP because of Philip Schweibo. Where did Philip Schweibo get it wrong? Well, he said his ambition. Yes, his ambition is part of the problem. Because for the governor, Godwin Obaseki, and many other political stakeholders in Edo State, power should go to Edo Central. And this has played out in the choice of candidate of the PDP, the choice of candidate of the APC, all from Edo Central. The immediate past governor of Edo State, Adams Oshomole from Edo North, the brother, the cousin of Philip Schweibo. Yet Philip Schweibo wanted to be the next governor to succeed his principal. I think that was where they parted ways. And long before this episode, Philip Schweibo had already gone to court to obtain an injunction to stop any impeachment when there was none in the air. Of course, now that impeachment motion was set sometime last week, and once the impeachment machinery starts moving, it's like the target is a dead meat for a very astute hunter. So, Philip Schweibo has been impeached. He's going to court to challenge that. Yes, that's why the courts are there. But there's a new deputy governor. Now, the new deputy governor is from Akoko Edo, part of Edo North. Well, I want to believe that in itself is strategic because it means perhaps whoever claims to be the power broker in Edo North will have to contend with the fact that Akoko Edo has a deputy governor, something they celebrated. All the traditional chiefs from that area were in town in Benin City yesterday to celebrate this fest of an indigent from that area being in the governorship suit, as it were. But again, a politician has to be decisive. And perhaps that's what Obaseki has done. Because the PDP was not decisive, they allowed what you call disloyal members, members who had grievances, to remain within the party. As they headed towards the 2023 general election, they stayed there and worked against the party. In some cases, you say they just took PDP vote and gave to the other party when it mattered most. So if you want to go with the idea, oh, they should just leave Philip Shaibu, the man is already offended. He's not going to work for the party, whether he remains as deputy governor or not, because he's very bitter about not getting the ticket. So keeping him there, hoping he will work for you, he stays there and he works against you. So in that case, Godwin Obaseki, being decisive. Well, he quoted the Bible to say he never planned to work with two deputies. Well, that's the way politicians speak. Let's move on to the next newspaper. That's the Daily Trust newspaper. Shaibu becomes the 17th impeached deputy governor since 1999. Lawyers divided over constitutional leeway for lawmakers. Obaseki swears in 38-year-old engineer as deputy. Now, if you look at these numbers, compared to those deputy governors that stayed in office to the end with their principal, and some even succeeding their principal in this country, right? Ganduje succeeded his principal. Engineer Omai succeeded his principal in Ebonyi State. So it means there is so much for some deputy governors to learn. If you are deputy, you are deputy. So seek advice, seek counsel from those who have served as deputy governors and they survived, and some even went ahead to succeed their principal. So it is not as bad as we try to make it look, as if governors are emperors who will not want their deputies to breathe. So deputy governors must know their limits and work accordingly. If you do well, you can succeed your principal. And sometimes even go all the way to become president, as we have seen in the past in this country. Ruben, you know what I'm talking about. Now there's another story on the front page of Daily Trust there. Better Edu, EFCC recovers 30 billion naira, investigates 50 accounts. We want to see the full report of that episode so that we don't have a case where Better Edu, yes, brilliant lady, is just being used as the scapegoat to carry the sins of so many people who were involved in that episode. So we want to see the full report of that investigation so that Better Edu is not just the scapegoat. If she has offended, of course, no sympathy there, but there are others who are also involved. We need to hear their names, know what they did, how far they also participated in what was clearly, we want to say, looting of funds meant for the poor. Now, the Guardian newspaper, Naira nears 1,000 Naira to the dollar as CBN policy stress test banks unlock liquidity. Now, the policies of this government, Yemi Cardoso, central bank governor, seem to be yielding dividends. Now, the Business Day newspaper is also reporting in this light. Dollars pour into Nigeria at fastest clip in 5 years. Yes, the FX has increased by 41.7% inflow into the economy, according to data from the FMDQ website. Total inflows into Nigeria autonomous foreign exchange market, the NAFEM, increased by 41.7% to 3.75 billion naira as against 2.64 billion naira in February. So things looking up there, and the value of the naira is responding accordingly. If we look at the Daily Sun newspaper, CBN approves daily sales of $10,000 to 1,588 BDC operators. Bars banks customers from using Forex as collateral for naira loans. So CBN has so much dollars now that they have now pledged $10,000 to BDCs every day. So something is going on there, and it looks positive. The Vanguard newspaper lead story: woes for Forex dealers as CBN cuts BDC rate to 1,117 naira 0.5 to the dollar. Banks dominated collateral for naira loans. Now, if we look at, we just go back to the Daily Sun newspaper, the lead story. Federal government beams searchlight on ministers' orders, launches live tracker app for Nigerians to report ministers. Government officials list 8 priority areas. So the ministers are under watch for performance or for perfidy. So ministers are better watch it. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said, if you are not performing, you will go. This is not the Buhari era. Once you are appointed minister, you stay for as long as it takes. But Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given the hint. And with these performance searchlights being beamed, and of course, Hadiza Bala Ahmed, she's the one in charge. Bala Usman, thank you, Ruben. She's the one, of course, when they launched that app yesterday. She was on News 9 yesterday, Arise News 9 yesterday, to dilate on the, so she's like the monitor of ministers, and it will be done scientifically. Now, the Nation newspaper, the lead story: CBN steps up measures to strengthen naira against the dollar. While the Punch newspaper, if we put it up there, banks get 3-month deadline to stop Forex-backed loans. Now, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper: 60 PDP reps threaten to quit party want Damagum out over alleged doctoring of rivers. 10 other states caretaker committees members list. We will study allegations. PDP, yes, there's this allegation, of course, from the Fubara camp, that the lists of caretaker committee members in Rivers State are APC members, and at the instance of a certain PDP bigwig who is holding court in Abuja. Now, if we look at the foreign newspapers quickly, now if we look at, the foreign newspapers, the Daily Telegraph newspaper: children must not be rushed to transition. Major NHS report warns mental health may be bigger factor for young people. Children who believe they are strange-minded may actually have mental health. Yes. So children should not be rushed into the next level thinking they are brilliant, and this report's there. Now, another report on the front page of the Daily Telegraph of UK: council staff earning more than £1,000 now at 9-year high. The Financial Times reporting White House cheap hope boosted by TSMC deal for advanced production. Washington cough up $11.6 billion win for Biden home manufacturing bid. AI fuel semiconductor race. A lot going on in the economy for President Biden, which may just count in his favor when it matters most in the presidential election. The Times of London: Labour set to close non-dom loopholes. And of course, if we just look at the Washington Post: Moscow trails US on Ukraine. Spin doctors stoke anti-Kiev opinion. Deceptive post influence political debate in Washington, D.C. Ruben Rufai and Rufai still on holiday. He's supposed to be here too. Okay, I'm missing him.
Well, just to clarify, part of the things you said about deputy governors.
Yes.
It is not true that Dave Umahi became a governor in Ebonyi State in 2015 because his former principal wanted him. In fact, Martin Elechi did not want Dave Umahi as governor. He got there on his own devices.
He succeeded him?
Yes, he succeeded him. Not because the governor wanted another person. Then you cited the example of Abdullahi Ganduje. No, Senator Kwankwanso also did not want Ganduje, his deputy. So what we have seen is that in most cases, governors don't want their deputies to succeed them. The only exception you have will probably be Yerima and Shinkafi in Zamfara State. But even then, they fell out.
If your principal don't want you, know how to play the game. That is the word.
Well, but we are not in some of the cases where we have heard about.
Know how to play the game.
A few others.
So that they don't hack you down before you can even run.
The ones that succeeded their bosses did so because the principal died, as we saw in Edo State, you know, or the principal was impeached, as we saw in Adamawa State with Ngilari, Bala James Ngilari, who succeeded.
And Bayelsa.
Well, in Bayelsa, that was also another story entirely. But in any case, you know, these are some of the issues that we have to worry about. Maybe take another look at the Constitution to see how we can give proper roles to deputies, either their deputy governors or their vice presidents within the Constitution, to make sure that the spirit of that joint ticket that is defined in Section 187 is realized, and that the deputy is not just there as a piece of decoration. Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel.